Hi, I'm ready to go Facebook Live. I'm getting there. Clicking the button. Are you ready? I'm ready. Here we go. Here we go. Three, two, one, and we've got action. Hi, everybody. This is Ruth Theresa with One Inspiring Woman. I'm so excited to be live. I'm going to give you all a few minutes. I've got some updates for you guys. I've got finally a confirmed date for my New Year, New You group reading in January. That's going to be January 26th from 7 to 10 p.m. here at my house in Sugarland. I've got a couple of other dates. I'm going to be doing a Psychic 101 workshop. I'm going to be doing not only a weekend set, I'm also going to be doing a weeknight set. So all going on at the same time. So that'll be really fun. I will have everything up to date and ready for you guys. Hi, Marlene. Ask me any question, Marlene. Ask me one question. I'll answer anything you got. The only hint I give people about asking a question is make sure that your answer is really clear. Sometimes when we ask a question, especially crazy American Texans the way we are, when we ask a question, we're not really clear about what our question is. So make sure your question's really clear and I'll answer anything you've got. So, like I said, I've got the dates for the New Year group reading, and it's a 3-hour event. Sometimes it goes over a little bit. We do the first hour is doing an angel card reading for the year, one for each month of the year. And if anybody has a birthday during that time frame, they'll call out and say, hey, my birthday's in February or January, and they will give me those numbers. I will give them a special impromptu message during that time frame. And then the second 2 hours, we open it up the floor to anybody who wants to ask a question, anybody who has a question that they want answered, and at that point it can be anything: job, business, career, anything. So it just really depends on what we've got going. So we've got a couple of people on, so if you have any questions, make sure you just ask me your question. Just post it on the side and I will do my best to answer it. If I need any more information or any clarification on anything, I will ask you for it. I often tell my clients I bring my big girl panties and I'll answer any question I can, but sometimes they'll come back with like, are they asking about one person in particular or different? So hi, Tanya. Let's see. All of a sudden, we got a whole bunch of people. Ask me any question you want. I will. So Marlene's question is, let me go back up a little bit. It didn't go through, and then all of a sudden I got a whole bunch. I'm assuming you're asking about your financial future. Marlene, I would say your financial future, how's your financial future going to be? The worst problem, the worst effect you have in your financial future is you. If you see something, and I'm just using my lovely stapler as an example, if you see something that you really, really like, what you say is, I can't afford that. And that is a super, I have like chills, goose pimples everywhere. That is a super, super powerful statement. Now, the better way to say that is, I'm choosing to use my money differently. When I'm using my money, my financial house differently, I am choosing not to purchase this so I can purchase something that's going to suit me better later on. So that's what I'm saying is, like, you have got to clear out your words and make hard, fast choices with what you want. It's one of those, the more you do that, you're blocking yourself from your own financial future. You're the one who's making it hard. When you say, I have to go to work and I have to work hard for my money, what you're saying is, I don't want my money to come easy. I want it to really come hard, and I want it to be difficult. And I want to have to work and work and work and work and work and toil in the dirt or whatever it is. And so God goes, okay, Marlene, if that's what you want, I was going to just hand you $1 million, let you win the lottery and be done with you for a while. But if you want to work hard, if you want to really let everybody else win, people like you often use the words too also of, they're the lucky ones. They don't have to work hard. So what you're doing is you're giving them your luck. You're giving them your power and allowing someone else to get your financial future that you really were due, that you were coming to, but now you've given it to someone else. So change your words, Marlene. Start using words like, I'm choosing to use my money differently. I love when my money comes at me. And I don't know if I still have a dollar bill. Sometimes I have a dollar bill in here. When I put a $1 bill, when I put a $5 bill, when I put a $10 bill, when I put a $20 bill, whatever I put in my wallet, I always secretly, very quietly in my head go, bring your friends. I love when you have lots of friends in my wallet, and that starts changing it, and it makes it fun. It makes it exciting. It's one of those, I found a penny about 2 weeks ago on the ground, and I picked it up and put it in my wallet, and I said, oh, bring some friends. So the next day I found 5 nickels. So I found 25 cents, but 5 nickels. And then I put those in my wallet, and I said, okay, bring more friends. The next day I found a dime and 2 quarters. The next day I found $1 on the ground. So it's one of those, when you start asking them to invite more friends, it starts to come through. Thank you guys for joining me. If y'all have any questions, just post them and I will answer them as they come in to me. Just make sure your question is very direct, and I would love to answer any questions that you might have. So when you really want something, open up those channels, change your words, and change how you're asking things and how you're accumulating your ideas. And I just turned off my computer. That is not a good thing. So we are going to have to pause. So I'm going to pause you for just a second. Okay, sorry about that. So sorry. I hit a button on my computer and I turned everything off. Crazy that way sometimes. So I so apologize. I am back. We'll do 20 minutes starting from now. So I so apologize that I did that to you guys. I'm sorry. It's one of those. And I'm going to upgrade my words and say I apologize, which is a much better words to use. I apologize. I hit the wrong button. Trying to move my computer around so I could see it a little bit easier. So as people start getting back on, I so apologize for dropping this. If you have any questions, please post them. I've got a few of you coming back. I've got 3 or 4 of y'all coming back online now. So if you have any questions, please post them. I'll be more than happy to answer them live. If you don't, sometimes I have clients that will post a question to me and they can't join us live for whatever reason. So Iris asked a question just a few minutes ago on another another platform, and asked, is she going to have a much better 2019? And I would say yes. There are some many opportunities opening up for Iris in 2019 that are coming. Thank you, Marlene. Yes, definitely. Start changing your words, and it's going to start changing so many things around you. Think about when you start putting yourself down, or you start telling yourself other people can afford this and I can't. What you're telling God is that you want other people to afford things that you can't. And that's not where you want to go. You want to keep your own abundance. I was at a meeting, I want to say, a couple of years ago, and this was really funny. And this girl was sitting behind me, and they had like a door prize. And she even told a friend of hers that she brought, she was like, don't worry. Like, Michelle always wins the door prize. Don't ever worry about it. And I'm like, well, of course she wins. You just said that she wins everything. Okay, we're restarting again. This is crazy. Okay, I promise you this wasn't me. This was not me at all. I didn't do it. I so didn't do it. I so apologize. It just one of those, it just literally turned it off. I have no idea why. Someone made comment. It says San Francisco on my mug, just so you can see. I do have a couple of clients that are sending me their company mugs, and I will be using those online. So this one's San Francisco. This is one that my sister-in-law left here when she came back from a trip to San Francisco. So I have some mugs, and they were saying they were kind of big. I don't drink coffee in my mug. I drink tea. I know I'm a crazy drinker. Okay. So sorry about that. I so apologize. Having a little technical issue right there. Please, any questions you want, any statements you want, I got a new video out just yesterday. I have another one to post, several of them to post tomorrow. Tomorrow is Pearl Harbor Day Remembrance, and I have many clients that I've read for that have family members that passed away in World War II. And so I have several of them that have come through with some stories. One of them I videoed today was one of my clients' great-great-grandfathers and great-great-grandfathers. And he passed away on the Arizona. It was on the Arizona when it flipped. So, so it's one of those, if you have any questions, go ahead and post them. I'd be more than happy to answer any questions you have. Hi, Miss Victoria. Hope you're doing well. It's one of those, post any question you want. I'll answer any one question that you have. So, and I so apologize for the technical issues. The first one was me. The second one, I don't know what that was. Just some craziness coming through. And that happens a lot when you deal with ghosts. Sometimes they kind of mess with your electronics. So, yay. So if you have any questions, I'll be more than happy to answer. I know there's a couple of other people that were hanging out there with it. Melinda. I would say there are a couple of people that are close to you. I would say there's never 100% Mr. Right or Mrs. Right kind of thing, but it's one of those, one of the things that you often do is the first sign, it's kind of like your gun shy, like the first sign that something doesn't look like 100% the way you want it to, you run instead of trying to fix it. I'm not saying it's trying to fix for very long, but it's one of those, try to come back and clear up some energy. I often tell people when there's a little bit of conflict at the beginning, you know, different times, or there's an argument that happens or something like that. Actually, sometimes it turns out to be really well, because then you kind of learn how that person argues and how they fight. A lot of times people tell me, I don't want to have any problems in my relationships. I don't want to have any issues. And I'm like, but those issues teach you how they deal with issues, how they deal with life, and how they're going to come at you later on when something happens, when you've been dating 6 months or a year and all the honeymoon phase is over. It's going to really teach you how things are a little bit differently and how they deal with life. But I do feel, for Melinda, I do feel like there is, oh, sorry about that. So there is some time for you between now and when I really feel like there's some really good people coming at you. I call them kind of love cycles. So there's times where you're more likely to have people come at you. So it's one of those, I would say for Melinda, is get really clear about what you want, and not the first sign of something going wrong. I want you to go, okay, I'm going to give you 3 strikes and then you're out. That's a good way to do it. I'm a person that sets boundaries really healthy now. I used to not. So it's one of those, what kind of boundaries do you set? Are they surpassing it a little bit? Or are they running up against that and hitting it every time and not coming through with what you really want to see in that area? So it's one of those, I don't like to be texted all the time. I'd rather have, my husband's the same way. So we'd rather pick up the phone call and make a 5-second phone call than sit there and text unless one of us is in a meeting or in a conference, that sort of thing. So set your limits, what you really want in a man, and set those really well. And then when you meet someone in this love cycle, your love cycle starts, Melinda, in March, and it goes all the way through until the end of June, maybe the 1st of July. And so as those people start coming in at you, I want you to start going, is this matching up to what I really want in a person? So Victoria has a question. I am great. I have a career. I do feel like you're going to have both of them, and I kind of feel like the location is going to come first for Victoria. So Victoria is asking if she can have a change in her career. She's a counselor, so will she just have a change in that counseling career, kind of change something there, or is she going to change locations? I feel like the location is first, and then after, probably towards the end of the year, probably the next school year or something like that, kind of that August, September time frame, but I kind of feel September, October time frame is where I'm feeling it. And that is going to be an upgrade change. And so that could be like lead counselor. It could be district counselor. There's whatever the next phase up for you would be. That's where I feel this going. This is not just a little bump. It's a big bump. And I also feel like there's a pay grade that goes with it that's going to come in right in line and give you some new information, some new new avenues. It's one of those, I also feel like there is going to be some seminars that you may be putting on with someone else, or I'm trying to think of the words, kind of co-hosting or making a speech at one of the things. Linda, you're very welcome. So I would say really there's a couple of changes coming for you, Victoria, this year alone. So just know that there's a couple of changes coming at you really quickly. One's going to be the location change, and then the next one will be kind of like the changing in the thing. But I also feel like some other in that same area going into changing your title and doing some seminars or putting on seminars that are going to be a little bit differently. So I just feel like that's some changes coming at you in 2019, in the whole 2019. So if y'all have any questions, post them for me. I'd love to answer your questions. I'm just trying to be really cautious. I don't want to mess it up again. So whenever y'all have a question, post it for me. I will be doing a New Year group reading, and I'll be doing that January 26th from 7 to 10 p.m. at my house here in Sugar Land. There are discount tickets online right now on my website. Normally this is a $50 ticket per person, and right now it's $25 per person. So I've got a little bit of a discount until the end of December, and then January 1 it'll go to the regular $50 per person. So this is a really great way, 2 people or 2 friends or husband and wife, however you want to divide it up, can get in for the price of one up until the end of December. And then I've got a Psychic 101 workshop coming in. I've got 2 of them back to back, or kind of meshing over the top. I've got one that's a weekday class coming in, and it's a Monday, Wednesday from 7 to 9 here at my house in Sugar Land. And then I've also got a weekend, same here at my house. It'll be the weekend one will be the 19th and February 2nd. It'll be from 10 until 6. And so I've got a couple of people that are interested in those. Yes, Victoria, it is. It's exciting news. I'm excited for you. It's one of those, there are some changes that are coming. 2019 is really going to be a year of shifting energy. We've kind of done our work, our hard stuff that we've been doing for a long time, kind of doing our work throughs, our, kind of getting our feet, getting a hold of things, kind of like Marlon, it's like you're changing, Marlon. It's one of those changing your words, upgrading your words. So a lot of us has already been through this, and now it's kind of like, okay, here's your cornucopia of things coming at you. The good life is about to hit. Things are changing and shifting, and they will continue to change and shift for not only us but several other people. So if you have any questions, post your question, and I can't spell that correctly, ILN, and I will answer any one question you have from each person, so it kind of gives everybody a chance to ask a question. And I know, where was Tony? Tony was gonna, I can't type today. Typing is not my asset today. It's not working. So if y'all have any questions, you can go ahead and post one question. I'll answer any one question that you have. Hi, Courtney. How are you doing? My friend that travels all over the place and back again. Every time I see you posting on Facebook, you are going somewhere or coming back from somewhere. You have more frequent flyer miles than anybody else I know. You're going and going and going. So what's your question, Miss Courtney? I have my New Year, New You group reading in January coming. I'm so excited about that. We've got the date of January 26th, so that will be an exciting time. Newark, New Jersey. I bet it's cold up there. I bet it is cold in Newark. It's one of those. My daughter just got back from St. Paul, and she said it was very cold up there too, and got to play in the snow. Career changes for 2019. I almost feel like the very beginning, Courtney, for you for 2019 made you feel like a backup or a reverse. So don't get discouraged. I know you can. Everybody can. It's not just you. I know people can get discouraged. I feel like the beginning of 2019 is going to feel like a backup. Like, oh my gosh, I've already done this. I've already been here. Or, let's do something different. So it's kind of stale, stagnant energy until we get to the end of March. Once we hit the end of March, it's kind of like you're gun to go off and you're on the races and going. I feel like you're going to be moving up in your company, but I feel like 2 move ups almost back to back. So I feel like a move up and then like 2 months later moving up again. So very quickly, one on top of the other. But this is not going to come in until the first one will be sometime late May, early June, and then the next one will be like late July, somewhere around in there. And those are going to be some great changes for you. More money, being able to control your calendar a little bit easier, having some extra time off from here and there. So just know that these are some changes that are coming your direction, and it is going to change. This is kind of the work that you've been doing is now going to start producing. That's why I said this is 2019 is all about producing it. But you also want to make sure that when it gets stuck the beginning of January and February and March, you don't get too over pushed. Make sure you have a balance. Take some time off. Maybe take an extra day or 2 here and there. Take some time for yourself. Don't overwork yourself. Don't get frustrated, because that's when you're more like to say, forget it, I'm out of here. and all that success that you've been working for in this company is down the drain. So make sure that you don't get too frustrated at the beginning of 2019 before the abundance part starts kicking in for you. So that's kind of some changes coming in at you, Miss Courtney. I also feel like for a couple of y'all, there might be some new love interests that are coming around. I would say something, just like I told Melinda, is make sure you get really clear about what kind of guy you want, what kind of person you want coming in. Make sure that there's some energy coming in with that as well, that you set healthy boundaries for yourself. Set healthy boundaries for yourself, and make sure that the guy is upholding his end of the agreement. Not maybe the first sign like Marlene, it's Melinda. Make sure that it's not the first sign, but if he doesn't follow through or doesn't do what he's supposed to do when he promises you he's going to do something, that's when it's kind of time to cut and run. I usually say 3 strikes and you're out. That makes it a little bit easier. Don't hang on forever. Especially you, Courtney. Sometimes you're like, I'm going to fix them. I'm going to change them. I'm going to do this. And it doesn't really help. Fixing and changing someone else just aggravates them and makes you tired. It's one of those, and it never really ends up staying for good for very long. So that's something that comes in. Hi, Miss Carla. How are you doing? Do you have a question for me? If you have some information that has been coming through, you know what I'm saying, that's coming through for different people, I'm getting information. Sorry, I'm getting information coming in through for different people. So if you have a question, Carla, go ahead and post your question. I'd love to answer any one question you have for me. I'd love to do that for you. And we've got just about 3 minutes left. So post your question and I'll answer it for you. And then, like I said, I've got the New Year, New You group reading coming January 26th here at my home in Sugar Land, Texas. Tickets are half price right now. They're normally $50. They're on sale for $25 until the end of December. So that's something. I've got a psychic workshop, a weekday and a weekend class that's coming up in January. So if you're interested in those, please let me know. Good, and how are... Okay. What are the first names of your kids, Carla? Just the first name is what I need to connect to your energy to them. So just post their first names and I'll get you what I'll or if you have a specific question about your kids, I can answer that too. Shane, Scott, and Joshua. Ooh, 3 boys. I bet they keep you busy. I bet they would, Miss Carla. Shane. So when I connect with Shane's energy, I kind of feel a heaviness in my throat, which means either I kind of feel like he doesn't really talk a lot. And it may be age-wise because I don't know the age of your kids, or he's frustrated about not being able to communicate or not willing to communicate a whole lot at this point. Scott is upper back issues. Ooh, I've got some. So I feel like they're adults. Okay, so Shane, I don't feel communicates very well. Or has some things to say, but he's not quite ready to say them yet. So he's kind of like, I want to say them, but I'm waiting for the perfect time. Scott, I feel like has some support issues. And I would feel like it's both. I feel like it's more on my male side of my body. So I feel like he's not feeling supported by other men in his world, which is frustrating him and giving him a lot of pain. Joshua. I feel like Joshua is kind of really doing well. It's one of those, I also feel like he's just started something, so there's something brand new that he's just dealing with. So I feel like there's some newness in this that he's not quite got the feel for it, but he feels it's kind of like, I'm new at this, but I also know some of it, but I'm not sure how to pull on what I already know or what I don't know, all of those things. So he has some kind of back and forth issues, but it's one of those, it's more like he's starting something new, and it could be even at the same job starting a new position. So he's pulling on what he already knows, but it's also changing what he knows. So hopefully that answers some questions for you, Carla. I got all 3 kids. I got all the information about your kids. If y'all have any other questions, I'll answer them now. If not, I will see y'all next Thursday. It's one of those, it's kind of been a crazy night with the computer turning on and off in the middle of Facebook Live, which is kind of crazy. I will continue to do Thursday Night Live. I will have questions every Thursday night from 9 to 9:30. There will be some changes for me along with everybody else in 2019. So I'm being really hush-hush about it. We're in the process of doing some negotiating with some others to see how things are coming along, and some changes that are coming for me personally, moving in my business. So I'm really, really excited about that and can't wait until January 1. If you don't already get my newsletter, email me. You can go to my website at oneinspiringwoman@gmail.com, and it will send you at the very bottom of the first page. There is a newsletter, so you can fill that out and you can receive my newsletter. Probably the best part that I think most people love about my newsletter is the beginning, kind of my intro and kind of just what I've seen as I'm getting ready for the month. But there at the very end is the daily Christy's friend Sancho. Christy's dog. Where's my friend? Hold on. Sign up for the newsletter, and that's a great way to keep in touch with me. I'll have all the information. I got my notes right here. So I've got classes coming up. Christy's dog, Sancho. Excuse me. I can feel him outside. I feel some grief. He's sad. I feel like he's lost. He feels, I wouldn't say abandoned, but he feels very lost in his energy.